Let me tell you about a terrible client experience. Hi, I'm Sherry from Twin Sisters Mastectomy Boutique, and I just finished up an appointment with a client who had a terrible first fitting experience at another boutique. In fact, I don't know if it was a boutique or a healthcare store or whatever it was, but it was bad. So, this lovely, lovely lady had a double mastectomy several years ago, and after an appropriate amount of time, she went for her fitting for her breast prosthesis, someplace in Toronto. I don't know where it was. And she was in and out in 20 minutes. And in that 20 minutes, she was told, "You have to have this size breast prosthesis. You don't have a choice." Even though this lady felt that they were too big, this fitter said, "This is the size you're going to wear. Too bad. This is it. Either you take these or you take nothing." So she took them. And they were too big and too uncomfortable. And after a month, she stopped wearing them. So fast forward several years later, she came in to see me. And I'm so happy she did, because we fit this lady with breast prosthesis that were an appropriate size. And she got to choose the size, because why wouldn't you be able to choose a size? It's your body, it's your choice, it's your journey. You can decide what size breast prosthesis you're going to wear. Now, if you're a single mastectomy, obviously we're going to match the left and the right. But if you're a double mastectomy, you can choose what size you want to be. You can try to match the silhouette you had before your surgery, or you can go bigger, you can go smaller. It's up to you, it's your body. How dare somebody try to dictate what size prosthesis you should wear? And let me tell you, that whole 20 minutes, that's really short. So when I book an appointment for anybody, I book an hour block of time. And that gives me time to do a fitting, answer any questions, do a bit of education, and the paperwork. So especially if it's a first fitting, it takes that long. Sometimes it can be a little bit quicker, sometimes it can take a little bit longer, but definitely a first fitting is usually a full hour. Now, if it's a double mastectomy, then I usually book an hour and a half, because when it's a double mastectomy, it's a little bit more complicated, because a single mastectomy, you just match the prosthesis to your natural breast size. It either matches or it doesn't. But in a double mastectomy, sometimes your left prosthesis and your right prosthesis may be different sizes in order to achieve a symmetrical appearance, depending on the chest wall. Sometimes they're the same size. But it can be a little bit challenging to remember what your silhouette looked like before surgery. And sometimes people want to match that look. So we'll try on different sets of prosthesis. Sometimes they want to go bigger. Sometimes they want to go smaller. It's their choice, because it's their body. So there's a lot of trying things on and seeing, what they look like in their clothes, seeing what they look like in their bra. Sometimes they bring somebody with them and they get a second opinion. It's a long process, but it's worth it, because, this is really important to make you feel like yourself again. You restore some self-esteem, make you confident in, all your clothes. So, you need to take the time to do it right. So I was very disappointed to hear that this absolutely amazing lady had such a bad experience, especially a first fitting, because, that's going to be what she will be expecting all the time. So I'm glad to say that she had a very good fitting experience here. She said it was very different than her first fitting experience. And she left really, really happy and confident, and with prosthesis that she was very comfortable wearing. So that made my day. It made her day. And I guess the message here is, if you are having a bad fitting experience, you're feeling bullied, you're feeling rushed, your questions aren't being answered, you're not given choices, please find someplace else. You can simply stop the fitting experience, and say, look, I'm overwhelmed. I need to go home and think about this. And if the fitter doesn't like it, that's too bad. So go home and then, call around, talk to people on the phone, and just, feel what their vibe is, which is what this lady did with me. She had called me ahead of time, spoken to me on the phone, and decided to give me a chance. Find a place that you like, that makes you feel comfortable, that gives you the time you need, because nobody should be dictating to you what your silhouette's going to look like. That's not okay. You have choices, take those choices, and I wish that you all have a very good fitting experience. Like and subscribe.